Who would have thought that a line in a horror sequel would go on to become the title of a film that gets nominated for Best Picture? My name's Charlie, and
Oh yes, there will be blood.
so Saw 2 is a follow-up to Saw, which will go on to create a line of hugely successful horror movies that at the time that they were coming out I was convinced would never end. It follows Eric Matthews, played by that guy from New Kids on the Block. Interesting casting decision. And his son Daniel Matthews, who would later go on to be murdered by Ghostface. Saw 2 is pretty much split into two storylines, kind of like the first one, but the cuts between these two make a bit more sense given the plot of the film. Daniel goes missing and of course ends up in Little Jigsaw's shop of horrors. Of course, Eric is most disgruntled by the news that his son is now part of a Jigsaw game, so through some detective skills he managed to track down Jigsaw's place of residence and confront him. Enter John Kramer, played by Tobin Bell, who instantly steals the show as soon as he is on the screen. Remember that guy in the last film that did nothing but lie down and occasionally said something with his awesome voice in the shadows? Yeah, he's the best actor by far in this film. So you've got Eric and Jigsaw's Battle of Wits, which is kind of like the bathroom scene from the first one, in which it's just two guys talking to each other, but with more animosity and awesome. And you've got Daniel and a numerous host of people in the house. You've got the usual suspects, you know, the psychotic drug dealer, the one that tries to calm everyone down, the silent creepy guy, and the ones that don't really do or say anything and they don't have much of a character unless the script demands that they do. Yeah. That's kind of my annoyance with this film. There's so many characters in the house that I wish they'd spent a bit of time developing and delivering a bit of exposition on each one. You get a fair amount with some of them, but there's one guy that literally just he's introduced and then dies instantly. What was the point of having him there? This film's much shorter than the rest, and I think an extended runtime would have really benefited it just by giving a bit more character development. And surprise! Amanda's back! Seeing Amanda come back was awesome, bearing in mind she was only in the first film for a short while, and she did that with a fever. So seeing Shawnee Smith come back in this and be one of the lead actresses, or the lead actress really, she really comes into her own and shines as an actress, which sucks because she'll later go on to be a supporting actress in a subpar sitcom. There's an awesome scene where she's in a trap and it's got some amazing performances in it, given the trap itself. The traps in this movie are pretty basic too, like even compared to the first one. They're effective though. They basically get the point to you that you're meant to be focusing on the characters themselves and the performance of the actors in that situation. It just builds up so much suspense as to the will they won't they escape situation. And the twists in this. Remember the first film which had 1.5 twists in it? This one has 4 in the space of a good 20 minutes. They hit you all in the climax of the film and each one is as awesome as the next. They all took me off guard. I was not expecting them at all. Saw 2 really highlights for me what Saw movies and Leigh Whannell scripts do so well. You're just not expecting the twists that are coming, and the character interactions and situations just really immerse you into the world. Each character really comes into their own. When Eric and Jigsaw are in a room talking, I want to go back to the house to see how Daniel and Amanda are doing. And when Daniel and Amanda are watching the chaos in the house, I want to go back to see Eric and Jigsaw talking. I love both of the sequences, but I want to see more of the other one. Saw 2 is just as good as the first one, with some fantastic performances from Tobin Bell, Shawnee Smith, and that one guy that's Marky Mark's brother. It has some fantastic character interactions and a very tense plot and very suspenseful sequences that just keep you on the edge of your seat. All this has set the franchise up perfectly for a final film, at least until Saw 3 provides the biggest opening in the franchise and they go on to milk it for 4 more films. Oh well. So I'll finish this off by asking you, what is your favourite musician turned actor? I feel like I have to say this given, that guy from New Kids on the Block is the lead actor in this movie, which he did a fantastic job. Mine would probably have to be Justin Timberlake. I think he's a really good actor. He's got some great potential, and as long as he stops destroying Nirvana songs, I think I could come to like him a lot more. He was great in Time, and he was very good in The Social Network. As always, I'm Charlie, and that's what's been distracting me.